I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is April 2nd, Tuesday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. We ended up dropping yesterday. So they used this as resistance, the opening week. Plenty of reasons why to sell. I was leaning more towards selling, even though I didn't get to participate in any of this down movement. Woke up and it was down here already, but when I was outlining these lower highs, yes, it's clean, but doesn't we have non-farm payroll on Friday? Doesn't mean that they're gonna get this week. Doesn't mean, or I mean tomorrow. But and I was mentioning also with this oversold indicator to come down, either coming up or coming down. That's what I was saying was neutral. And I saw the red signs, red flags. I saw the green flags, I should say, for selling, tapping against this higher time frame here. Even if I move down up here, you can see that we're using that as resistance. If you watch yesterday's video, it'll make sense. That was a control of price. If I were to go to a 5-minute real quick, this is where the writings on the wall were. I was mentioning this candle here, this 1040, but really it was this candle, this 1020. As you see, we do poke right into there, right? Same exact level, and then that was the high. So Asia London, they pretty much consolidated, and they didn't take out that high. That's another red flag for it coming down. You're obviously looking at the previous. If you look at this higher time frame, let me see here. You're pretty much looking at, we already took out the previous 2 days. We're talking about yesterday's price action. Yesterday's price action, Monday, already took out the previous 2-day highs. So right now, this opening of today, that the previous 2-day lows were also important, and the low being of the week. And I was mentioning all week that we would probably take out this interest rate consolidation news, right? So with that being the case, the downside, we were leaning more towards it. I'm not involved, but the only thing I was able to be involved in was the buy. So when 930 is here, I'm not interested in selling. So I'm interested in buying. Okay, so let's put it this way. When the price 930 is right here, right? So 930 is consolidating, playing around. It's probably going to continue in price. So the advice, if someone was to be a participant in this, and by the way, I got the gaps here, and we're doing all that, right? So we're understanding. It doesn't show it on this time frame for some reason, but you'll see it on the 50-minute. You see this, the gap here, the gap here. So at 9:30, the price does shoot down, and at that time, I'm looking for a buy. So I'll show you where I dropped the ball many times today. Very frustrating for me today, but at the same time, we still made it happen. So this is a 5-minute. Well, you can't see it on a 1-minute. So right here, 930 drops right here, and then I take this buy. Why? Because I'm sitting at this gap right here, right? I know the big move today is the buy, right? That's 100%. We didn't drop so far, and my traditional buyer's remorse would be buying up to here. I got out already early. I was hoping that the 350 time frame didn't shoot down, so I decided to take profit early. But that buyer's remorse is where we're probably going, and I wanted to hold, but I need to be out. I'm already exhausted today. So the price bounces here. I'm looking for a buy. It fails. Okay, so at this point, I got to wait for it to come to this next gap. All right, so we get a lower low, and then we get a lower low, and that's the high. So I'm on the 2-minute right now, so it's a little weird. Let me just show it to you this way. You're not going to see the gaps, though, so there's gaps in here you can't see on the 1-minute for some reason. But to explain this is just resistance. This is just the order flow is still bearish, and I'm looking for this price action. If you watch yesterday's video, I'm telling you about how we make the drives here, and we switch above that high, and then we buy back up, right? I just literally made a long video about this yesterday. So here's the thing: this 1030 news wick, speaking for Nasdaq, this is just bullshit. Pretend that wick isn't there, right? Pretend the wick isn't there. So that's a low, high, lower, low. We're looking to shift above and then buy back up. So retraces after the shift, retraces back where into this inversion imbalance right there, and then finds the support, and then it decides to then. I can't fit all this on a 1 minute, man, but then it shoots up. All right, shoots up, and then it finds that level as support, the support block right here, which is the 10:04 a.m. candle. So that holding as support, shooting up, and the minimum goal for this buy right here is to get into, obviously, somewhere in the opening range gap. 25% is generally what I'm looking for. Let me go back to a 2 minute because I screenshotted it there. Okay, so I end up getting taken out by my stop loss right here, and because I'm dragging it up, but you'll see it here. So the point is that this has already happened. Now I'm sitting at that gap. I even take a loss. With this candle right there, this 1012, because this tapped the gap perfectly. Shot up right above that low. I'm in. Sure enough, immediate response. It's dangling, and then boom, this candle, the 1018 candle, shoots down one more time. At this point, I'm literally a tick away from understanding that we already wiped this liquidity. I don't need to draw it, but I guess I could. So this whole thing is getting wiped out, guaranteed, right? So that was my issue when I took the buy at that 930 at the gap. But because I knew they were coming for it. He's either gonna buy from above here or below here, and it came below. So anyways, you got this nice little imbalance right there. You can see it still on the 4 hour. All right, I don't have all this dragged out, man, but can you see that? So you also have that imbalance right there, and then you have these last two down candles. So you're already in these two last down candles. So it's a little difficult to find the actual buy. What did I use more for support? It was going to be if I took away this line. Oh, if I took away this line, I know that I'm still at the gap, right? Well, I shouldn't have deleted that other line. Okay, so right there. So that line is the height of this candle. This 6 a.m. candle on March 19th, Tuesday. So the high of that and the low of that, the difference is literally one tick, not a point, one tick. It doesn't touch it exactly. If I was to zoom in real close, you'll see that it doesn't touch it. But the reason why I still take this trade is because I know where we're going, and it's early in the day. They're trying to go back up, right? So that's the confidence in what I'm doing. Plus, I know, look at the body, look how it respected. And at the end of the day, you can see it respecting that gap twice. 1, 2 right there, bodies, 2 bodies right there. So I don't need to be that precise. If I was to be that precise, I would have missed this trade, right? I had another opportunity to get in right here, obviously. But let's go back to here. So, but again, you can't see it on the 1 minute. You can't see the gap here. I don't know why it doesn't do that. But anyways, my goal is to, when this is shooting back up, we've already rated there. All right, you can look at this as 3 drives. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I know where I am, and I know we want to come back up. So sure enough, when we get this far, all right, at the end of the day, now it's 340. I wanted to hold it longer, but I was afraid what 345 to 4 o'clock would do, specifically the 350, because at 350, that shit can go any direction. But this was good enough for me. And then I moved my stop loss actually a little bit. You can't see it here. I moved it up one more time after the screenshot. I moved the stop loss right there in between this. This is a 2 minute though, by the way. I moved it up to right there, and then it took me out. So, for me at this point, I got to make a decision. Should I hold this? Let me go to a 5 minute. I'm like, should I hold this? This could be a very good trade. For example, meaning even if it breaks all the way above, non-farm can push this all the way back up here, right? But you know, I'm already tired. I've lost enough trades today, and I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. So I took it out. But now we're stuck here. I was hoping, yeah. See, now it's 4 o'clock, and it didn't give me that push that I was looking for. So this is the game plan is that I'm looking for the buy because I know we've dropped. You got to let it drop, right? But you know, me being antsy, I'm gonna take these trades anyway, and I take a losses. No, oh well, man. You know what am I gonna do? But I know that we're coming back up to balance some of this dropped price. I mean, you know, but all the red flags were there for it to be selling right there. But I wasn't a part of it, and you know, and hopefully you saw out of the video yesterday that I was leaning more to the bearish side, only because of all the confluences I mentioned yesterday. But you know, that dangling carrot with the lower highs is something else. But again, I'm not involved. I wasn't involved in any of these sells. Beautiful sell though. You know, beautiful sell. But you had plenty of reasons to sell right there. Plenty of reasons. Even if you looked at the 1 hour, there's an inversion imbalance right there. See this one, this between here. But you don't need it. You already got the opening gap range. But this is there's another red flag right here. See how it's sitting inside? This is not the best color. But so it's sitting in that price action. But the gap was really it, man. I mean, you know, and the two lows here plus that data. So it's like the whole time it's like, are they going to take that data? And they did, right? And the reason why I should have held this was because we did come down into this range. So you know, even if you put the fib from here to here, from the body to body, you'll look and see that we're at a 79. The 79 matches exactly with that gap. So you know, forget the precision. This is a very good area to buy. Plus, you just sealed that fucking imbalance right there. So, and I wanted to hold this, man. I was debating about it the whole time before I took it out. But you know what? Who cares? It's all good, you know. But to get back to the video, you know, hey, I don't know. This better hold because I'm telling you, if we come lower than here, then I think it's going to be big trouble for the market. But it has all right to do that. So technically, this is the higher low. I'm looking at that as the higher high. I'm looking at that as the real higher low. I'm looking at that as the higher high. And right now, I'm looking at this as the higher low. So if you break this level, it's over with. We're coming down. Like we'll probably come down. I mean, when I mean come down, I'm gonna go to a month chart real quick just to show you. But there are some gaps. I think there's a gap right there, right? Yeah, see that? See these two gaps, these previous months? It's very possible. And if we come down here, we're talking about wiping out all of this. Yo, we're talking about wiping out all of that, right? There's a gap there and there's a gap there, right? I'm going to even highlight it. Let me do it now. So, this is going to suck. Hold on a second. Where are you? Whoops. Oops. All right. And then we have another one here. Yes, I'm doing this live. All right. So just drag them out there. So here's the thing. There's these two gaps. They could get touched. Yo, we could if we break that low, man, right here. If we break that low, we most likely will be coming down here. So that's on the big bearish side, obviously. But in all rights, it had a right to come back down to here. So this is the higher low, right? So you're in this range from here, this low to this high, or refine from this low to this high. So do they come for this pool? I don't know. That will show us really bearish. Right now, I'm assuming this is the higher low and that we'll be making structure back up, right? If it like kind of like something like it's a bad example, but something like this, where a couple days we come up, we come back, and then we start shooting back up, right? Like so, that's what you would need to see if we're still bullish. But taking this trade up to here is a minimum for me, and I still got out of the trade. So we'll see. And I'm gonna mention it now. There's a gap right here. Yeah, I see all these things. Whoa, 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 whoa! What you doing? Where'd you go? Yeah, that's it right there, right? That gap right there. Let's do this. All right. Pretty sure that was the one, right? Yeah. Yeah. So there's also a gap right there. So I wanted to hold this trade here minimum, there as well. And just in case, you never know what non-farm does on Friday, we might wipe all that shit out, bro. So we'll see. You see the levels on the top side, you see the levels on the bottom side. And that's pretty much where we're at. Let's go real quick into where am I at? See, and when I was saying, you're probably like, oh, you didn't say you were bearish more. Well, I was saying that we wiped out here on S&P, right? And then that was here yesterday, right? So I think I mentioned these lows, but I was mentioning that we rejected pretty well. And then coming down might be it because we were topping here. We had a divergence there. I've been mentioning this double top right here for Nvidia, for example. We gap down, we retrace. So I mean, I don't know, man. That's why I was saying about it coming to the downside. Where am I at here? And then, okay, so that was S&P, but this could be a good support. We don't know, but fucking major gap right there. Damn. And then this is Dow, obviously. Oh no, I'm on the wrong time frame. So Dow came also deeper again, right? So they're in a discount. I mean, they're at lows. So I mean, this thing could fly the fuck back up, and that's why I wanted to hold that trade. But man, the way things are going, I just decided to leave it alone. So, is there anything else? Dollar is retracing back. It wasn't really helpful at all for this, but and then I think there was a little divergence here on yeah, right here, and then this was kind of like pushing us up right there. Divergence right here wasn't that clean or anything. It's just a 5 minute, but while I was saying, let me go to a 4 hour. While I was saying yesterday about us topping was that we took this high out here, but then see, this is what I was trying to say yesterday. This is what I was saying yesterday. That's why we were more on the heavier side. Besides it being a lower high, I mentioned that very clearly that was a lower high, but this is a divergence right here. So you got higher highs here. I'm pretty sure I said this in the video yesterday, and if I didn't, then oh well. But that was another reason for this drop. So, where do we go from here? I don't know. This was the play for me today. Obviously missing that big sell, and you know what? It's okay if I missed a big sell. You know what I'm saying? Because the buy is there. It's like if you were looking to continue selling, you no way. You don't know how to trade because anything can happen, obviously, but it's not likely. I mean, the market it doesn't really move like that, obviously, right? So we got a break here, and as you see, we're slowly kind of coming up there. Should have held it, but oh fucking well. I'm gonna be nimble and stay out of the market a little bit, and we'll see what happens. So the rest of this week, I don't even recommend anyone trading NFP, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think this is good enough. So, all right, you guys take care and God bless.